What's up, guys? My name is Dwayne Sherrill, and in this episode, I'm going to do something a little different. Today, I'm going to start a series about what I appreciate most about board games, whether it be the theme, whether it be components, whether it be interaction with other players. But this first episode, I'm going to talk about dice. I like rolling dice. I love it, shaking it in my hand and rolling it across the table. But when it comes to rolling dice, of course, dice is luck-based. And my luck isn't all that great when it comes to rolling dice. That's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Monopoly, because once you roll the dice, that's the result you're going to get. And 9 times out of 10, it's a result I don't really need. So when I first got into the board game hobby, one of the earliest games that I bought was King of Tokyo. Now, I grew up watching old school monster films, Godzilla specifically, and when I saw King of Tokyo, I was really attracted to the theme. So in King of Tokyo is pretty much king of the hill, and you're trying to defeat the other monsters and become king of the hill. And in the game, you're rolling 6 dice. Now, the thing I like about this is when you roll those 6 dice, you choose which dice you want to keep, which results you keep. And with the other dice, you're able to roll it a second time. And then after that, if you don't like those results or you like some of those, you decide you can re-roll the dice a third time. You can actually choose to re-roll all 6 of them a third time. But then after the third time, you're stuck with that result. So that gives you a little bit more control of what you decide to do with your dice. Another game that I played early on in the hobby is Machi Koro. And in Machi Koro, you're pretty much the mayor of this town and you're trying to build buildings into your town. And in order to build the buildings, you have to purchase them using money. But in order to get this money, you have to roll dice. And certain buildings that you have in your town activate. So if you roll a 3, this building may give you $1. Or if you roll a 4, you may get $2 from somebody else at the table. Now, mind you, other players also have buildings that activate on your turn. So if I roll a 3, they may get $1. And so even though you can't dictate the result of the dice, all the results that you get, you're able to utilize them. So that's what makes this game really fun. Now, there's another game that uses the same mechanics called Space Base that came out a couple years ago. And out of all the reviewers that I've watched online, they say Space Base is a better implementation of this system, but I like Machi Koro's theme better. Now, another way that the designers have implemented dice into their games is by using dice drafting. Now, dice drafting is when you roll the dice, but then you pick which dice to use. And then the next player picks another dice. So we saw this when I talked about Sagrada and Pioneer Days. And in Sagrada, you're trying to build up your stained glass window. So you're using dice drafting to pick which dice you want to put in your window. And in Pioneer Days, you pick which dice to dictate which resource you want to use. Now, another game that uses dice drafting that I want my wife to try is called Taverns of Tiefenthal. And in taverns, you're running your tavern and you're using dice drafting to upgrade your tavern or to make beer or to get new customers into your tavern. And I think she would actually like this game. Now, another way that designers are implementing dice into their games is by using the dice as workers. So I really like worker placement. And there's some games that use dice to as the workers to take the actions. Now, one of my favorite games is Teotihuacan. And in Teotihuacan, you taking your dice as the workers around the board to take these actions. And when they take these actions, they're able to upgrade themselves to take better actions around the board. And it is a really beautiful game, and this is one of my favorites. Another game that does this is Pie Town. And I think this will be a little bit more up my wife's speed rather, because my wife said Teotihuacan is a little bit above her pay grade. In Pie Town, you're baking pies by collecting apples and baking pies and selling them at the county fair, and you're using your dice as workers in order to do these actions. So another game, oh wow, is that uses dice placement is Fantastic Factories. Now in Fantastic Factories, you're building up your tableau of buildings and you're using dice. Once you roll them, you use the dice in order to collect energy or metal or victory points. And you're using the metal or energy to build buildings that will help you use your dice more efficiently. And to win the game, you have to get the most victory points. And that is a really beautiful game. And I think it's the one that I'm going to get her to try out also. Now, another way to use dice is you can use dice as other elements in the game. Now, one of my favorite cooperative games, or the favorite cooperative game, is Dead Man Tell No Tales, where you use the dice to dictate the intensity of the fire on the ship. You play as pirates trying to get this treasure off the ship that's on fire. And now my wife's not going to play this one. She doesn't do pirates. She says pirates are the carjackers of the sea. And she's right. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. I love pirates. And some of my favorite games are pirate themed. Now, a cooperative game she did play is Atlantis Rising. And Atlantis Rising, we're trying to save the Atlantis from sinking into the ocean. And she played it once and she enjoyed it. We almost lost. We barely won, but it is a really good game. And we're using rolling dice to take these actions in order to build these machines to help us not sink into the ocean. So as you can see, there are a lot of games out there that use dice. There's some games that I haven't talked about that are more popular, but the games that I've talked about are the ones that I've had the most experience with. So yeah, if you like dice, really check out some of these games, rolling dice and everything. If you like the content of this video and you're interested in what this series can bring, leave a like, subscribe to this channel, and share, tell your friends about me. And like I said, all I'm doing is try to show, you a way to introduce games to your loved ones. My name is Dwayne Sherrill, and I will see you next time.